this right here was one of the suggestions, or I guess recommendations from Charlie, that he did not direct himself, but when I had said I'm not really familiar with Sam Fender, he said, you need to see Dead Boys. It's one of the, I think he said it's one of his favorite or one of the most impressive videos that he has seen, which is a bold claim coming from Charlie, who has done his own incredible work to include the friggin' names, you know, Louis Capaldi, Billie Eilish, and Youngblood and all that. So this is quite the claim. Let's see what Charlie's got in store for us. This is Sam Fender with Dead Boys.
The anniversaries are short-lived, but they come back around at a breakneck speed.
Whoa.
Moments spin so fast, the centrifugal force keep you stuck in the middle. You close your eyes, learn our pain. Nobody ever could explain all the dead boys in our hometown. You close your eyes, learn our pain. Nobody ever could explain all the dead boys in our hometown. All the dead boys in our hometown.
Damn. This is 7 years ago.
So with the black dog, some are loud and some in silent. Everybody around here just drained. That's our culture. We close our eyes, learn our pain. Nobody ever could explain all the dead boys in our hometown. We close our eyes, learn our pain. Nobody ever could explain all the dead boys in our hometown.
Wow, dude.
Boys in our hometown. Close our eyes, learn our pain. Nobody ever could explain all the dead boys in our hometown. Close our eyes, learn our pain. Nobody ever could explain all the dead boys in our hometown. 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 All the dead boys in our hometown.
Wow, bro, shut up. Jeez. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. I can't believe that only has 4 million views. Wow. All right, let me just compose myself. Yeah, Charlie didn't he didn't produce or direct that. It was just something he was impressed by. He said it was one of the best videos that he'd seen. And I can totally understand that. There is so much here that we could talk about from a cinematic standpoint, from a symbolism standpoint. There's a couple things I do want to point out. First thing, I'm gonna take away this damn title because it's killing me, and I don't want to throw off the rest of the video. Hang tight real quick. Okay. I'm sure there is a story behind this that sparked this video, especially lyrically coming from Sam, wherever he may be from. And even Jenna in chat, you saw, said this hits pretty close to home with my community, unfortunately. And I'm sure there are many communities that this is part of their story. Again, I wanted to point out this is 7 years ago because something about this felt very apropos for right now. So here's what I would like to do with this video. And I'm sure on some levels this is going to be a mistake. However, I'm willing to take that risk because I think it's important. Matter of fact, I'm going to read Rigel's comment first. Sam Fender's song Dead Boys is a tribute to his friend who died by suicide and addresses the societal issue of male suicide and the confusion and grief it leaves behind. The song was written in response to his personal tragedy and has been shared by fans who say it helped them feel less alone or even helped them through difficult times. Thank you, Rigel. Here's what I want to say about this video. Rather than me go through this and tell you what I think some of the pieces mean, some of the descriptions mean, like some of the cinematography, like what it's telling us. There are a couple things I want to point out subtextually, but more importantly than that, I want to discuss something that I think is a huge part of this message, again highlighting the fact that this is 7 years ago. And one of the rare things that I get to do, just because of the way the world works, I very rarely, in a very conscious, direct way, get to speak from experience, especially when we watch like K-pop videos. I don't know what it's like to be Korean. I don't know what it's like to be an idol. I don't know what it's like to be like a celebrity. So I have to make a bunch of assumptions on how I think things are and the way that the world works. But I can pretty openly speak from a matter of perspective to this right here, of what it means to be a man in the world today, what it means to be a white man in the world today, a middle-aged white man in the world today. And right now is a time when it is seemingly okay to shit on and completely crush men. Not just men, white men. It's okay. It's like accepted. It's kind of encouraged in some way. And regardless of how you may feel about that, and yes, there are a bunch of nuances in every single thing that we talk about, it does feel right now, let me finish my point. It does feel right now that that's an okay thing to do. This is 7 years ago. When that becomes an okay thing, that becomes acceptable, this is what you get. There are ripple effects in every single thing that happen in life. Good, bad, and different, there are ripples. And I don't want to, this is an incredibly complex conversation, so I don't want to go off on the 1,000 directions that this could go, okay? But I'll tell you this. Every single group of person, every single category that you can put a person into, even if they don't want to be in a category, any category that somebody can fit into is going to have their privileges and it's going to have their problems. Every single one. That's just part of being a person. You could do the same thing with animals. You could do the same thing with inanimate objects. It's going to have its pros. It's going to have its cons. With this, it's such a perfectly executed display and feeling, an actual feeling that's attached to what this picture looks like. Some of the nuances. This shot is incredible. It's incredible. Look at the posture. Look at the look in the face. Outside, like he's locked inside, he's looking outside. He's looking for hope, but he's locked inside, or he's afraid to go out. There's so many ways that you can interpret this shot. Magnificent shot. But this does not hold a candle. This scene was incredible, first of all. But when we get to this part right here, you notice, first of all, where we're going here with the bag. But you notice the body language and expressions of everybody else in this room. There's nothing. There is no urgency. There's no panic. It's just there. This is the way that it is. Because everybody's dead inside. Now, can you imagine? Because I'm gonna assume, and again, like this is a very tricky conversation. You all have always done a really good job of at least being open to some of the difficult conversations. Can you imagine if this video, in the exact same fashion, went out and it was about women, how that might be perceived, or the exact same way, but it was Asian people, or if it was people of color, if it was gay people, you can name any category, and then you send all of those out and you see what the response is. There's always going to be some good, some bad, right? There's always going to be like a campaign that kind of shows up and says, oh, we didn't really realize it was like this. We need to do something about it. It just depends. It depends on the category. It depends on the person. It depends on what's happening in the world at that time. When we get to this point here, oh man, the energy of this shower scene is so magnificent. I just want to let that speak for itself. When you get to, I love the relationships. I love how they kind of hit the spectrum of relationships here. Oh God, so good. And part of this, the only thing I'll say about this shower scene, like this guy's facial expression is pretty perfect. Because part of it, as they're going in a circle, which A, means something. 2, they're all in a box. They're all in the same room, in the same boat, facing the same thing. They're spinning around in circles. We have to kind of, like part of it, in moments you don't know, are they dancing? Are they happy? Like what's going on? But we have to read off of Sam, and he is that visual display of that energy that is building, that rage is building. And that energy, when you can't put it back out into the world because you're not allowed to, it has to go somewhere. Historically, men are not allowed to discuss how they feel. It's not encouraged. It's not allowed. There is a massive stigma attached to that. I like to think that times are beginning to shift away from that, but it takes time. You can't shift everything overnight until all of a sudden, hey, it's okay now, you guys can talk without being judged. No, you can't. It's a little bit more accepted. If it happened this way for thousands of years, it's not going to change overnight, so it takes time. But yeah, these guys, like Joyce says, they're circling the drain. We read off of Sam the energy and understanding that the energy that you keep inside has to go somewhere. And if it ends with, as he says in the title, dead boys, well, that is a consequence of the actions of all of these things kind of compounding. Generational. One shot, generational weight of what my father expects me to be. What I'm supposed to be at this age, right? One shot says everything. Brilliantly done, where they do the first part of the shower where they all go in. Sam does his speaking while all the guys face the back wall, face away. They do the chaos scene, and then they cut to right here where this is afterwards. Everybody's sweaty, they're tired, it settles back down. When we break into this shot, now I'm going to interpret this shot, but I don't know if it's right or not. This is my interpretation, and this is why I kind of had to like sit back and just take a second. because what this shot represented was the art in the background. You see all these like conquerors and generals and all this stuff. Like think about this. We as men carry the weight of all of the men who come before us. We will face the wrath of people that have come before us. We bear the burden of the mistakes that our predecessors have made. Me just being a guy means people that don't know me and they see me, they already have an idea of who they think I am and what they think I stand for. 1, because I'm a guy. 2, because I'm white. 3, because I'm middle-aged. 4, because I'm heterosexual. 5, because I have tattoos. 6, because I have a beard. And 7, because I'm military. You can put all of those checks in a box and you think you have me pegged specifically that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I know exactly what he thinks. I know where he stands. I know how he's going to feel about this. Oh, he's angry today. I know why he's angry. It doesn't work that way. So understanding that you see these, and I'm going to say kids, right? You see these kids foreshadowed by, or I guess overshadowed by, the men that have come before them. The warriors, the soldiers, the generals, the conquerors, whatever you want to put on it as a label, all the people you see that are young, that are still vulnerable, that are still like trying to figure out who they are in their own local bubble in town, bear the burdens of everybody that's come before them. And then actively have to try to, 1, not become that, and 2, do what they can to fight against that. Every category of person, every group, every tribe has their problems, they have their privileges. Everyone. This is shining a massive spotlight on this group. Man, I have to agree with Charlie. This is one of the better videos that I've ever seen. It's magnificent. And to me, again, what I have said is probably going to result in some kind of mistake. People will leave the channel. We'll get a bunch of haters in the comments. That's fine. I think that speaks much more importantly than me telling you, this is a good shot, this is a good shot, and then I sit on the fence and I don't want to upset anybody. So, it is what it is.